Have friends that are, part of the community. It's just a lot. I think it can be sometimes people are sensitive. Because I have some friends that be like, yeah, no, I don't be caught up in that, right? Because it's sensitive because you're trying to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? You want people to agree with your views, so you're oversensitive, right?
Right.
Because, like you said, in the elevator, somebody said that, right? Oh, y'all acting fruity, whatever, right? So what? Like, somebody can say that, right? But if you late, right?
Right.
Don't be on color people time.
See? Just keep the same. Just keep the same energy.
Like, it's so many different things that you can say, but just because it's that topic, then we are oversensitive.
I mean, it's kind of, but with
I agree.
Because people be like, stop acting black, stop talking white, stop doing these things, right? And nobody like, ready to lose their job.
We ain't going nuts. Yeah.
But I don't even think it's just being oversensitive. It's like I got offended by it because it was like, I'm the type of person that it's like, if that's what you're thinking, just say the word. I'm not the type that just don't shadow it, don't code it with anything. Like, just say it. Because
But I think I
would have been less offended if he would just send gay shit instead of saying fruity shit. Like,
but no.
So
but
it's
that's you. I understand why you got upset.
That's me. I personally got offended because
that's just your.
I would have rather you just said
your
gay.
means of
That's
communication.
It.
Right,
Right.
but
I'm rolling.
That's a preference, but I don't think that he was trying to do anything necessarily wrong or come at you wrong.
No, and I know
because that word, right, has in our community growing up has been interchanged for the word.
True, and that's the less offensive version. It's cursing without cursing.
It's the less offensive. So I feel like growing up, just to be honest, fruity meant gay.
Yes.
Meant the same thing.
Yeah.
Fruity and gay definitely meant the same
Right,
thing.
so I don't think that him saying, oh, y'all on some fruity shit, I don't feel like it was more offensive if he said,
yeah, but
y'all was on some
that's
gay.
why I said that was that was just the way she ingest communication is different. So that's what made her upset. Right. But I don't think the overall. This is all I'm saying. Like, and we can close this out. First of all, we'll introduce the episode later. All I'm saying is this for 2019. If we could all just adapt this, like I said off of mic, I really want us to all get together and just adapt this, man. Just keep the same energy, man. If you offended over one thing, be offended over the other side of that too.
And be consistent.
Be consistent in your offense. That's all I'm.
Be consistent.
Like we all have the right to disagree to things. That's what makes humans human. That's one of the things that creates community well. But my issue is, you can't. People are upset about their opposing party's right to be offended. And that's not fair to the whole global conversation. All right? So I think what pushes us forward faster is listening and not responding first. That's all it is to it. And now you can intro the show, brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Episode 54. Pint Size Podcast.
5-4.
5-4.
5-4.
5-4. 5-4.
Level up.
Level up. Yeah, man. Everybody's in the building. I'm mad at Millie right now.
Why?
Because we could have had a photo shoot today.
We could have.
You messed up.
No, she didn't mess up.
No, I
it's
didn't
all
mess
good.
up.
Hey,
I'm on her. I'm on Millie today.
Plans change, things happen. It's all good. Keep the same positive energy.
Boy, already on the way.
I'm on.
Let's go. I'm really mad at me.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Well, let's do this then.
Friday happened. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Last Friday happened. I am ready.
Well, if you're ready, then I'm ready. Let's be ready together.
It's Donovan Boyd here, the marketing coach.
You know it.
Another glorious day in the neighborhood.
You know what it is.
Pint Size Podcast.
Let's go, baby. And it's me, FC on the beat, a.k.a. Fourth Quarter Freddy, a.k.a. Freddy Franchise, a.k.a. the best you ever heard. You're just afraid to admit it, a.k.a. Mr. I Have a Dream. So get your hands on my pocket, a.k.a. Speedy Trockton, a.k.a. Bomb Stockton, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul Bazaar, a.k.a. Wavy Crockett, a.k.a. F the Netflix Guy, a.k.a. Young Hulu, a.k.a. Hot Take Jake, a.k.a. Mr. Always Stay Focused, a.k.a. Mr. Always Locked and Loaded, a.k.a. Mr. All Bags Matter. You know what it is.
It's me, Millie with the Fro, Millie the model.
Hey.
With a less exciting intro, but it's me.
It's
I'm
all
here.
good.
Hey, guys.
Your intro was great.
You
know what I'm saying? And I'm Blue. Artist formerly known as Blue Works. You know what I'm saying? I can't do all them AKAs. So, yeah, it's good to have everybody in the building. Productive weeks, productive weekends. I'm hoping everybody, I know you're gearing up for finals and
Yes.
and FC. I'm noticing the page climbing back up. You know what I'm saying? I'm peeping the new approach with the content.
You know, I'm just trying to do
I'm
something
watching.
different.
I'm watching.
Keep changing your
I
name.
so far
keep-
have passed one final. So far, have one.
Congratulations.
One final
Congratulations.
pass.
Congratulations.
One more to go.
Congratulations.
You still in school.
Don't cheat.
Never.
Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. I cheated before.
What?
I cheated before.
Don't cheat on your finals. That was a good message.
You know what I mean? This dude dropped a commercial.
Don't
Students,
cheat.
all the students out there, don't cheat.
Hey man, these phones is different. I remember I had
what?
in college I had a Verizon phone, but the phone flipped open like this.
You was lit.
So and then the desk set up just a little bit.
Oh, so you can hit it there.
So I can put it there, and then my PowerPoint notes is over.
Ooh, you was killing.
I definitely cheated on a
My
final or two, bro.
PowerPoint notes is on the
yeah,
flip
no.
up.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
You get a couple of subjects where it's like
And I
you
need
study, but it's something about certain parts of the content. It's just hard to remember.
And I need to sit behind. I had to always take my test behind somebody bigger than me. I need somebody.
There's levels to this.
I needed somebody wise.
It's levels.
So boy walk in the room and play the angles. Like, let me slide over here.
That's how you know. That's how you know you're
You wear your
average.
coat today?
You good? You got your coat?
You keeping that coat on?
You keep that coat? You
bruh.
cold?
You cold?
Okay.
Yeah. You by the
see.
window?
Right in the middle, like.
Boom. Flip him up. I mean, just saying. No, I mean, I couldn't imagine taking the
Never.
test with an
No,
iPhone.
Not one time?
No,
Dog.
cheating is very, very hard to do nowadays. They're very
Is it?
strict. Yep.
But I'm saying
Cheating was hard to
because
do
of
then, too.
Because of the technology. Like,
No.
they know.
No, but we can't even if we're even caught with our phone out, automatic zero.
That's what
So
I'm
it's
saying.
But that makes sense.
Right, because
Because
of the technology.
Yeah. So
Our
then
phones weren't.
teachers
Word.
now-
The whole
Pull up
test
Blackboard.
All types of stuff,
Yeah,
man.
so-
You can Google the answer real quick.
Straight up.
So I get it.
What they do about the watches, though?
Watches?
Yes,
I'm
Even
lit.
with the Apple Watches, they say
lit.
you can't really have.
You can't
those.
have the Apple
No.
Watch out? Okay,
They're
take-
really strict.
Right,
They're
don't
like
get
watch.
nine.
Damn.
They're like
I
you
can pull
gotta
up notes
pass
right here on this.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So
Scroll.
now I only cheated once. That was Black Studies.
Yes!
Time out.
Because I did.
Rewind.
I did study.
Rewind.
I did study.
Never.
That was the first time ever in my life I
My
did.
problem is
that
this.
was my first time
This
ever
is
in
why
my
I'm
life.
upset.
Teenage drinking
So,
is bad.
I studied and everything, and then at the time of the test, I realized I studied for the wrong stuff. So I went into panic mode. I need to pass this class. I was already nearly failing. So I sat all the way in the back, made sure I had a good angle of somebody's paper, pretty much copied their answers, and it turned out to be right. And I ended up
the
In
passing.
the words of Jaquan, I got a fake ID though.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Off top.
Yes!
All
Sorry,
I'm
Mom.
saying is, why did,
Sorry, mom.
Sorry, Mom.
why did the class you have to cheat in had to be Black Studies?
I know.
That is disrespectful.
It was the way he was doing the notes. It was kind of funny.
It's
He
all right.
jumped
We always had to
everywhere
find
and-
our own system within the system
So-
anyway.
He
So
was
I
one of
feel
his-
it.
he
System
was
within our own system.
He was one of those
our own
guys.
system.
We gotta find a system within our own system.
He was one of the old heads that was just kind of like, I don't even know how to describe him. I respect
I get
him
it.
though.
I get
but,
it. He was one of those guys that, you know, you going to learn all of this.
Right,
And
like-
you need to know it all.
Especially
And-
because
Cheated
of
on
the color
Black
of your
Studies.
skin. You need to
and
know.
technically
You
he
should
was
be sitting
supposed
up
to.
front.
So we had a book we were supposed to follow, and he pretty much did free lecture, open lecture. So he didn't follow the book until it was like maybe 2 weeks until the end of class.
Oh no, that would piss me off so bad.
He was kind of just on his own little.
Oh, he one of them teachers that you still
was
got.
woke.
No, this
He
no,
was
this how it go.
woke.
No,
He was on the march at Selma.
He was
he
woke.
did the bus boycott. So like this book don't know what happened. Let me tell you, me and Martha went down
Bruh.
there. Let me tell y'all what happened. So we went down there. It was me,
tell you what
Martin was
Exactly.
there. All right.
But I
Jesse wasn't
respected
even
him
around
for
yet because
that.
he a cool. We know what I'm gonna tell y'all the real. That was him.
No, but he was an awesome teacher because he even showed us the documentary. He told us about Black Wall Street. He told us about everything. And he even showed us the documentary about
He
the
was
man
there.
who almost got hanged and then survived it. So he was really woke. That's how he taught us.
'Cause he was
And then
there.
he was like, okay, I guess I'll do the curriculum like 2.5 weeks left of class.
No,
So-
you know what? He sounded like one of those teachers. So like when I got back from PA, I still had 2 classes that I needed to finish because I was just tired of being at school. So I ended up finishing my 2 classes and sent them back at Lakeland. And I had a class there I'll never forget. And the teacher never taught from like the notes and like followed it per se. You know what I'm saying? It was always like an open lecture type of form,
Yeah.
videos. It was a good, really good teacher too, actually. Come on, man. You know you get fined for stuff like this.
Oh, it's your dad.
Truly.
It's my pops. Yeah. But anyway, hey pops, man. Hold on, man. The key is in the gas thing, man. I'll call you back, bro. I'm doing a podcast right now. I already know what you call me.
I know
for.
Pop, and Pop,
You know what I'm
you ain't
saying?
gonna get Pop if you don't answer the phone right now. You ain't gonna hear from him for 2
So
more days.
anyway, but the teacher was still expecting us, even though we didn't know, to still follow the curriculum.
Yeah.
So we still had to read the chapter. We still had to do the work or whatever. But he just never discussed any of it. So at the end, he expected us all to know whatever. And everybody was like, oh, okay. But luckily, you know, when you got those kind of teachers, sometimes, though, you can kind of pick up on so much that they're saying
Yeah.
that you can kind of put the pieces together. I'm still mad you had a chief of black studies.
You don't see no black studies no more, man.
It's because your family used to date Puerto Ricans with 3 cuts in their eyebrows. That's what that is. Golly.
That got,
My dad didn't have any cuts in his eyebrows, so he
that
was,
got
like,
weird.
clean.
Yeah, that got a little
Well,
awkward
if you
there.
reference last week's episode.
That was my sister's. No, okay, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
put
let's
this
not go
out there.
back. Let's not go back.
Yeah, please
Because he
don't
got you.
Don't
He
put that
got you.
business
It's
out
all
there.
good.
Don't put it out there.
What's happening this week, people? What's new in the news?
Oh,
What-
before
oh.
we talk about what's happening in the news,
Okay.
we're going to talk about what happened last week.
Okay.
Okay.
What happened last week?
Black studies are black people, right?
Yeah.
But there was a whiteout this past weekend.
Oh, he's ready.
Oh my God.
We can talk about
am
it. Let's talk.
Go ahead.
Ready.
Let's talk.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's talk. Now, see, let me.
So did you go?
Let me put a star right here because
did you go?
I want you to reference last week's episode because all of this extra is going to be just that. Because I already gave this man his just due in
That
long
you did. You
form
covered,
last
you,
week.
you covered your
Hear
bases.
that.
You
It's all
covered.
good.
But it's all good.
You covered
But
your
I don't,
bases.
I
Do
don't
your
even
thing.
want it. It's not even giving me my just due.
Okay.
right? I just want to talk about it because I just feel, I just want to talk about it.
Okay.
On the
Talk
music
about it.
side.
Let's talk
You know,
about
let's
it.
talk about it.
Were you
What we
able
got?
to attend the event?
I had the opportunity to attend the event,
Okay.
but I
Same.
did not attend the event
Same.
because some scheduling.
Okay.
I found out late, but it's all good. Right, so Cleveland, Ohio, House of Blues, they had a sold-out concert,
Whiteout.
Whiteout.
Very successful.
sold
Very
out?
successful. Yeah.
Okay.
Successful.
Yeah.
Something they have every year.
Yep. Shout out to that whole
And they
situation.
decided to do, hosted by all the ladies of Z1079.
Shout out to all the boss ladies that did that shit. I fuck
Boss
with y'all for that
ladies.
the whole female show. Go
Boss
ahead.
ladies.
Shout out to all the boss
Boss
ladies.
ladies.
The boss ladies.
ladies.
Right? And then it was an all-female lineup.
Yep.
Right? And
Solid bill too.
Right, and
Solid
they had
bill.
Cleveland Zone, right? So they had a couple artists, but they had Cleveland Zone,
Dope.
the homie KK,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And I feel like she had a good performance. I feel like from a hometown person who was on the show, she got the response that I feel like
She
was
shoulda got.
supposed to got.
I'm
was
rolling.
was supposed to get.
I'm rolling.
Word for word.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to say, I just
Word
want
for word. You ain't got to even do nothing. You just
That's yeah.
When you
That-
can do- when you
nah,
can-
when
when you
I
can pull a
saw
Jay-Z?
that, I saw because cats put it on their stories and you don't get the full effect. But I saw like a minute video. I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, she
Bruh.
got this one.
when you
this
get to
one's outta
stand
here.
back and let them finish the verse.
Yeah, this
it's
one's
real.
out of here.
It's real.
She could have just did her choreography. Straight up, this came out. Which one are you? They did dance the whole time. They knew the whole record. It was
and
amazing to
then
watch.
the videos, and then the Insta stories, and the retweets, and the So I just want to give your take, man. I feel like in the beginning, this started out as, in people's eyes, I don't think people took her being serious,
True.
right? So
True.
when you see different people, and it's no different from the Love and Hip Hop plots, when you see these women who was doing this, a Cardi B, or these people that was doing one thing, and now they getting into music, you know what I'm saying? So is it more so a situation where somebody is looking at this person and say, you have the potential, we can make you into something, right? Or is it like, all right, you always wanted to rap, but you just never had the opportunity, right?
Right.
So I think that when people was looking at the situation, I don't think they were looking at it through the lens of the Love and Hip Hop. Like, how many people just getting into music, or everybody on Love and Hip Hop is an artist, you know what I'm saying? But ain't never did nothing, So, I just watched it slowly, and I just watched it erupt on social media through my eyes. Now, I'm not saying the world knows about her, but through my lens and through my reach and what I've saw, I've seen a situation where somebody has changed their lifestyle and changed, who they are, and she's putting out more music, and
I'm noticing.
She's getting better. I'm
noticing.
Saying? And and things are high quality, from the videos, from the sound quality, the studio she's doing. So
no question.
So I'm just
what I want.
How does this happen?
So it is. First of all, I want to preface this by saying it is an amazing time to try to start anything, because it's a lot. I won't say it's easier. I will say that the way to reach people now is so direct that if you have something that connects with people, there are a lot less steps to get it to them. True. So that changes a lot of things, and a lot of not just music, but we're talking about music, but in a lot of different ways. It's a great time to start stuff. Now the waters are muddy, which takes me to where I'm going. Because of that reach, it is very difficult for these two things to coexist. Okay, one is it's very difficult to weed out good versus not so good as a consumer. And two, it's very difficult to know what people will respond to, because it's so many different pockets that people can tap into that you may not have the acumen in to understand. You know what I'm saying? This was really, when I sat back and thought about it after last week, that was really what happened with the KK situation from my perspective. It wasn't knocking in the pockets that I pay attention to, but that doesn't mean it wasn't rocking. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw it, I said, okay, well, yeah, we'll see. And it wasn't even about it's always about a talent thing to me. But once I understood that this was her first showing and I'm just going to try it because I wanted to do it. Okay. I kind of took that off the table at that point. So it's like, okay, cool. This is what she's trying to do. But because it reached people that I wasn't attached to, it was hard for me to say this is going to be the one, because I wasn't looking at the people she was reaching. But once I started looking at the people she was reaching, I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I was wrong about that. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see it coming. Because once you got high school auditoriums full of kids rocking, once you got the entire House of Blues floor, standing room only, rocking. And then once the support level is so high that they're going to get behind, even if it's one record, because that's what we got right now. We got one record. Even still, that record is taking off so crazy with the people that she reaches. It's amazing to watch.
So she in a dope spot, in a I don't want to use the word scary, right? But I'm gonna use it for lack of a better term. And then the scary spot, because you can come right now, like she in the same, and this is not the same comparison. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of see.
Just understand what I'm saying. She in the same spot that Cardi B was.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When Cardi B dropped Bodak Yellow, the song did so well on a worldwide scale. It was like, okay, if she's not careful with what she does next, she'll be like one of the biggest one-hit wonders of all. Now, on a city, local level, she's doing what I Done Came Down has done. She's doing
Facts.
what, like for real though. She's
Facts.
doing, and you guys aren't from. If you're not from Cleveland, even
Don't
though that was a
worry, this ain't
national,
for you if
even
you're
though that
not
was a
from
national, no, it's still for you. Even if you're not familiar, I Done Came Down was a song by. Well, he was Fat Al.
Fat Al.
Got sued. Well, cease and desist. Al Fats. It was on Madden. It was a big deal. It was a
You
big
heard
deal.
the song if you played it,
YouTube it. I Done
Yeah, it
Came
was
Down. All right, it'll pop up. But it was a big song, right? But she's been able to do that. And actually, I would even argue in a shorter period of time. And then the fact that she's female always makes it more difficult.
Yes.
Let's agree. We all understand the standards in the music industry, right? But now it's, okay, what do I do next?
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the tell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And I don't think it's a situation of what does she do next.
Okay.
Okay. Go for it.
I think it's a situation in what do we do next.
Break it down.
So if you listen to other cities, right? Like especially like in Atlanta, right? Atlanta has made it public that we are not territorial.
Absolutely.
We are
Absolutely.
not
Had this conversation
ego
yesterday.
driven.
I swear I
right?
did.
We don't have none of these things,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So if
Yep.
you got a dope record,
We gonna jump on it.
we gonna jump.
We gonna
on
push it.
We gonna push it.
We
I
even
might-
push you, give you some money.
I might give you a verse,
Dead
right?
serious.
So that you've heard Rick Ross publicly come out on his record, right?
Yeah.
Talk about Baby and how I never charged you a dime. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Hit records. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's like this is the culture to where New York is kind of divided. A lot of other cities are divided, right? And the reason why an Atlanta artist can win is because they understand if he win, we all win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Cali like that too, though.
California, it's different places who has the baton.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't look at it like what do she have to do next, right? So I think we've made some right steps. So you think about it. I saw the song when it popped in the summer,
Right.
so I seen the challenges. If you go back if you go back on
I
Instagram,
remember watching the video.
right,
She was outside of Wasabi with her girls.
Right. So if you go back to Instagram and hashtag
definitely remember that
KK Challenge or KK Queen Bee
Yeah.
Challenge,
There was people doing it.
you're going to see people
Around
doing
the country.
it, right? So now it was the local radio station. What y'all going to do?
Oh, okay.
The local DJs.
I see where you're going.
What y'all going to do?
I see where you're going.
You know what I'm
I see
saying?
where you're going.
Because she can't do no more. She gave you a hit record.
She did.
She
Hand
gave
delivered it.
She
It's
gave you a hit
packaged.
record.
Ready.
She delivered. So it's more so now producers, radio jocks, DJs, program directors, you people. It can't no longer be, this ain't serious.
But now it's about though who's willing to be selfless enough to say the end game has to be bigger.
And I think it
You're
took
right.
a step
That's a good
forward,
point.
I agree.
right?
That's a good point.
I think like a DJ KY, shout out to him, but he stepped up.
Yeah.
He put her on a show, then he put her on another show. He's spending her stuff in the, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm the DJ, I need to be playing the hottest record.
No matter who it is.
No matter
No
who
matter
it is.
who it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just think that, and it could fall in any lane, whether it's a business, whatever it is, it's like, the people have to support it now. Because then if not, then we always going to get that
same result.
That same
Get
result,
right here,
man.
hit a ceiling, and then that's
they
it.
don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't rock with each other. They divided. So I
think you're right. We talked about that on the one art room thing we did, and it's the consensus on that particular topic was that it's difficult for people to understand that because they're afraid in a lot of instances that if that person takes off, they're not going to bring me with them. So it's not and I don't agree with that. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. But that is kind of the general consensus. Everyone is fighting to place and be on and be seen, especially from this, especially from this market. It's so much competition. And I'll say it's not a lot of great competition, but it's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
And everybody is fighting for the same limited slots that they feel are there. You know what I mean? So people don't realize that because it's so much, it kind of helps the people who create the best art or who are packaged the right way or who have the best reach. So in not pushing the trends forward that are working for the city, you know, we're not gaining a piece of, this is for artists and producers. I had to check myself behind, you know what I'm saying, this idea. Like, we're not gaining a step of leverage by not shouting out the person because we don't want our fan base to latch on to them too. We're not winning when we do that. We are actually losing. Like it does the region no, especially if we live here. It does the region no good to have that kind of stigma in the market and then expect for people to respond to your art differently. See, we always expect people to support, but we don't support anything else, even without regard. I had a conversation with an artist in the city that is very prominent and has a great upside. But when the term support came up, it was, well, I only support people who support me.
People say that all the time.
I said, well,
people say that all the time.
Where has that gotten you?
People say that all the time.
Selective, and that's
where has that gotten you?
People
Like
say
you
that
don't
all
even
the
play
time,
things
bro.
that you like. You don't even put things on social that you just might like. Like, I like this song. This is by this Cleveland artist. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like, there's so many people. Listen, man, it's a reason why I'll reach out to other trainers and do events with them. It's not because, another song I'm about to say. It's not because I need them, but it's because I need them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, at the end of the day, we all stand on our own feet, right? But I also understand that you accomplish more and you do greater when you have other great people with you.
Fact.
And sometimes someone else's greatness can rub off on you, and sometimes your greatness can rub off on somebody else. You never know what could propel whoever to do what.
Yeah.
Right? And I try to provide, you know what I'm saying, not only for myself, but for other people to show, like, yo, we can do something different than the precedent that's been set in this city for so many years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody only works with, this person and this person and this person. Like, we had this conversation before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the only way that we personally can accomplish more, I believe, is if we do it together. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so dope that we got this podcast. That's why it's so dope when we throw events where it's other people involved and we're not the center of attention. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those things say a lot. And this is one of those instances where it's going to be important for us to kind of rally around her, even if we ain't even feeling the song or like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like, hey, guys, hey, go like it on Spotify. Go do anything, like give some kind of contribution that'll help something gain momentum. And if you like it, bro, just be honest. Like, I like the song.
Yeah,
like,
there's
you know
nothing
what I'm
wrong with
saying?
that.
This ain't got
There's
nothing to do
nothing
with
wrong
her.
with
So, you know, it just...
There's nothing wrong with that.
And this is across the board, not just when it comes to
boy
cake.
look at me in the
And I
face,
agree
like,
with
why
that.
you looking at me
Someone
like
who's
that?
'Cause he just
not
wants you to know.
from Cleveland,
Because he just wants you to know.
you know, I sat here and I saw that support you were talking about, the selective support, and that's
Selective
something.
support.
It is selective. You choose who you support.
I'm not disagreeing with you,
So-
Shawty. You aggressive with that
I'm
left
not
hand today.
aggressive.
See, when you're the only one, you got to be extra defensive.
So I mean,
It is selective.
Yeah.
you know what? Can I talk?
Wow.
Yes, talk.
Okay. So I see that because now coming up as a model, you know, the reason why modeling in Cleveland is not so big like it could be is because we are choosing who we want to back behind. We are choosing who we want to sit here and repost all the time. And it goes with like producers, artists, DJ. We sit here and I see people who just latch on to that one person that maybe reposted them or they're best friends with that's supporting them the most, like visually and physically, that they latch on to that and then they don't want to acknowledge or even try to support anybody else after that. And that's why a lot of people are finding themselves stuck when they get into these careers, because it's like you got to support everybody. Give credit where it's due. If this person started from here and they're now going up here, doesn't matter if you don't personally like the person, just give credit where it's due. Support the fact that now they're bringing this light to the city that nobody thought anything was even in. So
Say what you going to say. Public service announcement. We're going to switch gears. Go.
Yeah, we are switching gears. So anyway, based on what you said, right? I was having a conversation, right? And I was having a conversation, and somebody was asking me about writing books, right? And how do you get your book out here and all these different things, right? So, and I truly believe that it depends on what type of writer you are. It depends on the purpose of which you are writing, the purpose of which you are modeling, the purpose in which you are trying to be a trainer, right? You might just want to have a local gym and service the people in the neighborhood, right? You might not want to go on tour, right? So, so a lot of times people don't identify what it is that what's their personal goal with the track that they're taking. Right? And I said others just have a certain platform that it's just now time for that, and they built a platform, right? So like Michelle Obama, right? Michelle Obama, if she would have released her book 12 years ago, it wouldn't have sold 3 million copies in 2 weeks.
Absolutely not.
And now she's going on a
book tour.
Countrywide tour. Is that worldwide? No, countrywide.
Right.
Nationwide tour, right? So it's like, you can sit and possibly wait till you get to that type of platform, but that's not guaranteed.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It makes more sense when you're on that platform to then now look at other ways, other opportunities to now capitalize off my platform, right? But somebody who is in the stage of the infancy stages, or who are putting out a book and they're basing their teachings or whatever off this book, or somebody who's putting out a new record, somebody who's trying to break into this industry, right? The modeling industry, right? You need the people. And we don't understand that it does not work without the people. And we trying to figure out, or we trying to make it like support is something magical or something else other than it's the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A part of the reason why Michelle Obama sold 3 million books, because soon as it dropped, you can't go down your timeline without seeing it.
Facts.
Easy.
Facts.
Easy.
All the way.
Like you said,
You
her
know what I'm
timing was
saying?
impeccable, too.
So it's like, that's what it's about. So that when, to wrap it up, but even to look in the KK situation, if you can repost 100 videos, that is downright support.
When I got to, and he ain't lying, because when I was looking at the recap the next day, and her entire Instagram story was other people, and we talking about 50 at a time, different angles in the room. I said, oh, she got it. It's a wrap.
Listen, man. This what y'all got to understand. Not y'all, but y'all, us, we in general. You do not have to like somebody to work with them or to get something done. You don't have to. Liking someone is not a requirement to a greater goal. And if we would die to our ego and understand that I may genuinely not care for you, like for real, but during this time, we both need to do something. We can both push each other along. That's facts.
Exactly.
And that's the stuff people want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
But I think that's a, like you said, die to your ego. I think it's a pride situation.
Same thing.
Right? It's because, like, I really, would ask, I really look as right? I would really look and say, okay, somebody said they don't like me, right? Who don't like me? And then if somebody comes to me and say, oh, such and said they don't like you, right? I say, why? And then I'll ask the person, what's happened? And it don't be anything that really
right there though. But people not prepared for that.
But
What's happened?
No, for real though. You gotta ask the question.
question.
Like, what?
You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
So that's the thing. It's like
What took us off course?
like really, when you address people that way and you really bring it up, and that's the real big thing. Like people And the reason I bring that up is because of what you said. Like you saying, oh, you don't have to like people. People really don't not like people. It's just like they've convinced themselves nobody's really not done anything to you.
Especially
not for
close
real.
quarters. Yeah,
Not for
especially
real.
if you ain't close
You might have
quarters.
one or two
Like,
situations, maybe.
If you're not in an everyday type of situation,
It ain't no way you cannot like somebody.
it's no
Not
type
for
of
real.
way that you cannot like. You might not
Because of them
like.
dumb reasons. Man, I just don't like the way he move. What?
He moved funny.
What does that mean?
What do that
Now
mean?
you might not like somebody's actions,
Or personality.
Plan
maybe.
of attack.
But
might not care for their
I don't
personality.
think I don't think something's I don't think somebody has
What's happened is great.
really do anything
What's happening?
to you.
What's
Like-
happened is amazing.
Like for you to be like, man, you know, I just,
Well, speaking of that, people don't like Kevin Hart right now.
they don't.
They don't.
We gonna talk about it, or we leaving that alone?
What you I mean? We hear whatever.
don't.
People,
Can we save that for the end? I
think
just
people-
want to highlight.
I think people got a love hate for Kevin Hart.
I
For the
like
end,
Kevin Hart,
We
though.
got we got to talk about something else a little heavier than Kevin
Okay.
Hart. So what you
Do
about to
your
say?
thing.
What you
Go-
about what
go
you about
for
to say
it.
right now?
Go for
I
it.
mean, it's quick.
Go
So,
for it.
I don't know. Consider it the greatest prank of all time.
Oh, the Travis joint.
Travis Scott. So it was by a YouTuber, Christian Adams G. He's from Bahamas, and he decided it would be fun
It was great.
to pull a prank
was
on the
amazing.
internet and pretend to be Travis Scott. Did up his hair and everything, and post a picture. Went like wildfire. Gossip sites picked
That's
it up.
crazy.
Everybody picked it up, starting this rumor that he cheated on Kylie. Now, he eventually came out and said, you know what, it's not a prank, it's not real. But the buzz of the internet
Why would you do that?
to show how
It was a social experiment.
But why
it
would
was a social experience, and he said it was not to ruin anybody's relationship, but he's to show how gullible people are.
The-
You know what I did?
You
You know,
left
you know
out-
what I would have did? This is what I would have did. I'll show you how gullible I am.
Go for
you want
it.
to keep playing? I'm about to sue you.
Let's
Go ahead, let that air out, 'cause I'm
You missed the biggest factor of this, which made it as potent. The biggest factor was he put the picture out without the TMZ watermark, and nothing happened. Then he put it out again with the TMZ watermark,
And people went nuts.
And 4
People
minutes
went
later,
nuts.
it was all over. the
Yep.
internet. So that was the social experiment part. That we're not even looking for the facts before we run off and trust the agencies that
Right.
deliver us the news. That was
Exactly.
the experiment.
Okay.
Now,
That
was
was
it?
so who's suing them?
So it was, and that's
'Cause
that's
I-
that side.
You were suing?
It was
Yeah.
smart.
Why?
But
Even after, okay, we get what's going on. You were suing after.
So-
if
so-
you're Travis Scott and he's a
You're
YouTuber,
different.
who gets what's going on right now?
explain.
I'm saying you talk about
Yeah.
public. The public is crazy, bro. They already create their own scenarios. They already
Sigma.
create their own narrations. They already create their own everything, right?
Yeah.
So you put this in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now social media runs with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people be like, "No, that's a cover up. I did this." No, they just take it. People are weird, bro.
Yeah.
No, I swear they probably just did that because Travis
But
paid
at
them.
the,
I'm
at
trying
the
to
end
tell
of the
you.
day, I'm glad he chose the route he chose, the young man, because this is not money damaging. It's not even career. It doesn't touch anything. And after he came out, that nullified the whole scenario. So if in my perspective, okay, I'm angry in the moment. Okay, don't do that again.
Does Travis?
But
Have,
I'm not-
does
I'm
Travis?
not
Did
taking
Travis have
legal
to do a? Did Travis have to say something?
No.
If in the weeks to come, if Travis has to go back and say something, then it did something.
No, he doesn't have to.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
This is 3 weeks old now.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it didn't hurt anything. Yeah, it was
good because less has hurt more.
but it depends on the people, though.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Like a relationship ending and cheating. And we're talking about a group of people who don't have the most savory of morals already. So, like a cheating scandal is not going to stop their relationship from thriving. We've seen that.
it's not going to.
Tristan
I
and-
think
Tristan and Chloe.
what he's
He's saying
trying to pertain
Facts.
to is that we forget that at the end of the day, yeah, Kylie and Travis are celebrities, but they still are people.
Sure.
You know, and it's just like I agree of how he done this. It was really brilliant, but the aftermath is you put this false character out of Travis that now it's like everybody knows it's fake, but for this time being, Travis had to wake up here. Oh, he's cheating,
Bruh.
and I'm thinking
Psychological.
about
You don't want to start your day like that.
I'm
Like,
thinking
get
about
it. I
his
get it.
family
Stuff to worry about.
because Kylie then even commented that she was like, "That's not cool. I didn't find that funny."
Why
I didn't
would you find that funny?
And
Of course.
and I'm thinking about like
You got
he
millions
should've
of
maybe
people.
thought about
Millions of people.
like maybe ask before doing it.
But that takes
because
away the sting.
At the end of the day, this is still someone's life.
But you're
that
thinking about. I
sitting
think you're
here
thinking about it
portraying.
on a low scheme though, because
So-
like you're saying, you're right. This is somebody else's life. So like the one thing that I have the paparazzi out normally gonna have the paparazzi out in quadruple.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You like, dang, I just woke up.
You married
I
Kylie,
went
you with-
outside to have some coffee.
Hey, now
I got all these people right
this
here.
is the one instance where I don't side for the person who got popular and is successful, and the fame comes with it. This is the one. This is the one instance, and this could be a double standard. I don't care. It's the one instance where I can't be on Travis's side in terms of Melee and Aftermath. It's the one instance, only because you knew what you was doing. Paparazzi was going to be at your door anyway because you got that. This is who you're with. This is the lifestyle they live.
Of course.
Now hear me.
Without her.
I understand that, okay, nobody wants to wake up and see these things. I get that. Totally 100% get that. Totally. But in terms of the celebrity conversation, I'm like, your life is chaos anyway. So that's probably why Travis was just like, oh, okay, well.
So you saying he probably looked at it as another day in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really look at it as a big deal because you got impersonators that if you look at them the wrong way,
You might think.
It's the.
You might think.
if you in the right setting.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Hey, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one thing I will say, I mean, I don't recommend people do this kind of stuff because
Yeah.
it does disrupt a lot of things. And I mean, I'm being the grumpy dude, but on the other side, you don't know how that really affected them in that 3-week span. That's just
Exactly.
not cool. But I do commend the way that he said, okay, just like I went real wide to go with the scheme, I'm gonna go real wide and let people know like that it was fake. So you know what I'm saying, to clean it up. So I commend him for that. Don't go around impersonating people though, man. At the end of the day, I'm playing devil's advocate.
But
at the
he
end
was
of
able to
the
like
funny thing-
transform
the
himself
funny-
and look like
the
Travis
funny
Scott.
thing-
That was dope.
The funny thing about this, right? And I may be old, right?
Oh shoot!
But
he coming to the dark side? Come on,
Shoot.
man, it's wrong.
Oh
right,
shit!
I may be old, right?
It's wrong.
But my nieces went to the Travis Scott concert, right?
I wanted to be there. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Right.
I had something to tend to.
And nothing in my radar said go to the Travis Scott concert. Nobody around me said
Oh
anything.
we old. That's
Right.
why. Yeah, that's
and
why.
then, but my nieces, and so I was like, I'm looking at the concert. I said, "Is all the people at the queue?" Like, I'm like, man, I had no.
All the people at the queue.
I had to ask
But-
my
People
little cousin,
our
I'm like,
age was at the queue, bro.
right?
Yeah,
I had to
for
ask,
sure.
I had to ask my
Don't
little
get it
cousin.
twisted.
I was like,
And they did.
what songs did he
and
make?
they wasn't just black.
What?
It
Man.
was not. They was coming from Ashton
Right,
Bueller.
but I'm just saying, I didn't know. I didn't
and
know.
Parma, they was
I
coming
didn't
from
know he
everywhere.
was on that level.
Oh,
Travis
yeah,
been
for
affecting
sure.
the game for a minute.
For sure.
That dude's
for
one
sure.
of the dopest artists, period, right now.
He's like the rock star hip hop dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
Absolutely.
doing it well. Yeah. I didn't know it was at the queue.
He took
though.
Kid
I thought it was
Cudi.
somewhere else.
But I feel like,
Blueprint
but I
said,
still don't
"Thank
feel. I feel like it's like a segmented people, right? Because I don't hear his name in many conversations.
You don't?
No.
No,
well,
definitely not. I don't hear his name
in the
any
album
conversation.
conversations.
In
his name
music?
always comes up
He's
In music,
like-
he's everywhere.
because this last record like
everywhere.
solidified that. for
Well,
him.
not all, that's the thing. Not all the time, and that's kind of what people think. They think like, "Oh my gosh, I saw all these people. I didn't know that he was like this big." But in a way, he's one of those weird artists that he's out there, but he's not really out there. He
Explain
kind of
what
still
that means.
keeps to himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
He doesn't really.
He's always
He's
been
not
like that,
really
yeah.
big
Yeah.
with the mainstream.
He don't
but
like- he don't
even
like
though
all
he
that
gets
stuff.
pushed mainstream.
Yeah.
He's not.
Which
really
is why I don't
mainstream.
understand.
That's
Maybe they
why
in
when
love.
he took
Maybe they
this
in
long
love.
break and then came back,
Him and her?
everybody was like, "Oh, Travis just popped back up," but it was like he's been working on this for a minute. He just
For
is
sure.
low key. He's not like, "Oh, I'm about to be posting. Oh, I'm in the studio."
But
working."
also,
Like,
if you
he's
look,
not.
he was producing 30
Like,
people's
yeah,
like
like,
helping for 30
he's-
people's projects or writing for him. So, I mean, like,
Travis has a sound that can't be replicated,
that was his
No.
song.
and that's why like Miguel will go get a record from Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a sound that no one else has been able.
Period.
They've tried.
Period.
They haven't been able to do it.
Period.
Like and he just got a market on it. That's what makes him so relevant in what music is doing now.
Period.
Because it's a lot of Travis copycats, especially
Yeah.
especially in these lils.
And
A
you
lot
know
of
what's
these lils
crazy?
is
You know
copy.
his favorite artist of all time is, right? Kid Cudi. He get Cudi credit all the time. Period. All the time.
Shout out to Cleveland.
Get Cudi credit all the time.
On the music side,
This
We back?
this dude blowing me
it's
up.
like music. It's just,
It's
Blue
just-
Blue has something important.
Oh,
Blue,
my- go ahead.
Blue,
No,
Blue-
no, no. I
Go
mean,
ahead.
What you got? What you got?
Is this we're just like a music show?
I don't
Is that what we
know.
talking
I
about
don't
today?
know. It's just
I don't
popping in my
have
head.
nothing
I'm the
else.
king of R&B.
Oh, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Go ahead.
Okay.
We gonna get there. That was the worst.
No.
We gonna get there.
No. Say the whole statement.
We gonna get there.
Say the whole statement.
I'm the king of R&B for this generation.
Okay.
Is what the young man
Okay.
said.
I know. I know that's what he
so
said.
let me
And
ask y'all a-
everybody's
so let me ask y'all a
everybody's
question.
keeping that piece out of it.
So let me ask you a question. Is he lying?
Of this generation, we're
Answer.
talking about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes, he's lying. Chris Brown's still alive.
So it's Chris Brown in this generation.
Yes.
Chris Brown in the game for 13 years, right?
Yep.
13.
Wait,
so
who
it's,
said this?
But he still controlled the last
Jack-
10
Okay,
years.
so Jacquees.
no, I think it's Chris Brown for sure.
I think it's Chris Brown.
But this all depends on what how we shaping him because Drake been in the game for 15 years.
So Jacquees said
15 years.
Yeah.
Go for
Jacquees
it.
said that he is the king of R&B for his generation.
Wait, what?
Now,
He's 20, right?
everybody's having this reaction.
He's 20.
He's 24.
24.
Everybody's having this reaction, right? Like, no, and they keep. So
No.
then,
Oh no, if he's 24, he messed up.
no, he
Because
didn't
Chris
mess
Brown's
up.
29.
He didn't mess up, right? Because people not listening to what he said. He said, "I'm the king of R&B for my generation." So when people say R. Kelly the king, you can't compare. You can't talk about Jacquees and R. Kelly.
That's not what I said.
But I'm saying this is what's because listen, Jay Holiday responded, right? And put a video up and said the king of R&B is the king of R&B sold 20 million records for his first CD. He's talking about Bobby Brown.
Listen, man.
How are you even
This
talking
is my
about-
question, though. Before we can even answer
What?
any of this, what's his generation? Because now that I know he's 24, Chris Brown is 29. They're in the same dang on generation.
Possibly.
No. So how are we defining his generation here?
So that I would look at it like this. All right, so let me talk about it, right? So I had to look up Bobby Brown and R. Kelly, right? R. Kelly is older than Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown has been out longer than R. Kelly.
Yeah.
So listen, even with if you want to talk about, I don't feel like you can talk about Jacquees and Chris Brown because Chris Brown has been out. What do you mean? He's almost been out.
I'm gonna tell you what I
20
mean.
years.
I'm gonna tell you what I mean. No, Chris Brown's been out for 13. This is what I mean.
He's 28.
2004.
You said what?
2004.
Okay, he's about to be almost out 15 years. That's a long.
It's 13. So 13 years. All
That's
right,
a long time.
But this is what I'm saying, though. The thing that we have to question is not how long they've been out. We have to define the generation.
Yeah.
What is the generation?
No, I don't agree with that. So
But
let-
we,
let-
this is
I don't
but
agree
that's
with
it. But
that.
that's his statement. His statement is
But
his
I'm saying I
generation.
don't agree with
So
that.
what's his
I
generation?
I understand what he's saying.
I understand what he's saying,
talking about
too.
Current new artists. They was on the radio talking about ain't no R&B artist right now getting played more than Jacquees.
So you saying of his generation is what
or you
throws
could say
me
his
off.
generation, his era. He young. He may be using the word wrong.
So his era. So I'm
So
asking
that-
you
Yeah,
based
so
on
that's
what
what
you're
we're
saying.
asking.
Let's
What
define it.
I'm asking you though. I'm not asking him.
So what,
based on your definition.
What generation?
Right
what
now-
generation or
defining
era?
as
What
Right
you
now,
talking
he
about?
at the top.
generation. But no,
You're not-
but
you
what
shouldn't answer the question, bro.
generation?
You skating around
That's
this
what
thing.
I'm not.
Like you in a
if
winter
you want to say
wonderland.
generation, yes. Whatever you want me to say,
No,
the answer
but-
is
I don't
yes.
want you to say anything. I don't
Right.
know what you're saying. That's what I'm asking you.
I'm not using the word generation. I
He
don't,
used it.
I
He
don't put
used
him and
it.
Chris Brown in the same generation because Chris Brown has almost been out 15
Okay, I
years.
see what you're doing. So
I'm
you,
not putting-
so
I'm
what?
not
So what the
using-
man
I-
actually said doesn't matter because you don't want it to.
I said he feel like he used the word wrong.
You can't tell him how he feels.
No,
You
no,
gotta
no,
only
no,
just
no,
say
no,
what he
no.
said,
Okay,
though.
okay. I see
So
what's
that's why I'm
happening.
asking you to define
I see
it.
what's happening. So
Because
what
people
you're saying,
responding is with R. Kelly and Bobby Brown.
No, but
And
They missed it.
Stop.
I agree with that
Stop,
part.
stop.
They missed it.
People are stupid.
They
what
missed that
he's
part.
saying is, if I'm defining it correctly by what he said, is that in the generation in which he's making music, and if I'm counting generation in music years, and I could be wrong, but if I'm counting generation in music years, we're talking 10. Gives you a full rotational cycle.
That's what
of 10.
generation means to me.
That's how I look at it. Now,
That's what
if-
generation means by
if we're
definition.
saying- if we're saying era,
So that's what I'm
then
asking.
those change every 8
That's
to
what
12
I'm asking.
months.
That's all I'm asking.
So
What I'm
if we're
saying
saying right now, the
What I'm
cycle
saying
right now,
is right now.
okay, if we're going right now,
If I'm talking
male
about
R&B
right now,
artists,
male R&B, yeah. Because I had a conversation with my wife, and my wife don't. So me and my wife talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't classify Chris Brown as R&B. She classifies him as pop.
yeah.
I can see that.
I can see that too.
Started R&B,
But you would have to
pop.
classify Usher as that. You would have to classify Michael Jackson as that. You would have to
Well,
classify so many people like that though.
Some people are straight R&B.
It's a hard. Yeah, it's
some
a
people are
hard.
crossover. Like a Tank is not pop.
But I'm putting if we're talking about the king of R&B,
So what is
in this
Drake?
generation
Pop. Drake
right
is
now?
pop,
Drake
too.
is pop. I'm putting Ty Dolla $ign over everyone.
And he responded.
Okay, so this
what'd
one,
he say before
so
he
Ty
went to
Dolla
jail?
$ign will be considered in this era.
I would.
So this era started when?
Eras in music. What you
That's
guessing?
what I'm trying-
I'm guessing like a year.
So Jacquees
18 months.
Jacquees came out what 2 years ago?
2 years
now?
ago.
So 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Okay, let's go 2 years.
So his era started when he came out.
2 years
That's
ago.
convenient.
Let's go with that.
He's
So let's
been
go
out-
with
I
it
would
though.
say he's been out longer than 2 years. So if you go
Well,
back to
the Chris Brown remake video is longer than 2 years. That's what
Right,
got him
the
signed.
Chris- right, so the
so
Chris
that's
Bro-
about
right.
4 or 5 years ago.
that's when he started going viral when he redid the Chris Brown.
Yeah, that's about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
So okay, let's call an era half a generation. So 5 years.
Okay,
We're guessing.
So
we don't have a. We're just guessing.
All right, so we just kind of guessing.
Yeah,
so,
we don't have a metric.
So in his era, we got him,
But-
Ty Dolla $ign, Jeremiah,
Tory Lanez,
Bryson Tiller.
I can hear why, and I can hear, but I can understand. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, people can say what they want. T.I. said he was the king,
Yeah, it's opinions.
right? It's opinion, so he could be doing it to stir up stuff. I think that just right now, presently, he could say what he want to say. Does he have the body of work?
People can always say what they want
Right. Does he have the body of work
to
No.
support it. No.
He doesn't have the body of work to support it. But
He's definitely the hottest right now.
he
for
the hottest
sure.
right now for sure.
For sure.
So I feel like
For sure.
I feel like he can come out and say that.
As far as a dude
if he
singing,
want to.
he's like in this 4 or 5 years, he's the hottest.
He's
Because
not,
I can say this.
he's
Trey
not the
Songz came
highest.
out with 2 albums
Who do you think is hottest?
He's
last
not the
month or something,
hottest.
right?
He's the most hyped right now, but he's not the hottest.
What I'm not
Hot-
going to do.
hot
Hold
and
on,
hype
wait. Hold
is
on,
the
wait.
same
Let's
thing.
stop it.
No,
We got to
'cause you
keep
can
Trey
hype
Songz
somebody
out the
who is
conversation.
complete trash.
And I really like Trey Songz a lot, and I don't really like
I
Trey
love
Songz
Trey
slander.
Songz.
I know Trey
I don't
Songz.
like Trey Songz.
Trey
I
Songz
like
in a
Trey
predicament
Songz.
right
I'm
now.
so sick of Trey Songz now.
And I understand. He
But
can
I
Trey
like-
Songz
I
lost his
like-
swag. Listen,
Didn't wanna
I
get
like
Trey
Trey
Songz
Songz.
lost his swag. His last swag, his real 3 albums ago.
But
But what I'm saying is the reason why I brung it up
is
is Trey Songz just dropped 2 albums last month.
He did.
Yeah, and nobody
I
care
don't know
about
about
it.
it.
Nobody care
Nobody
about it because nobody cares about Trey Songz anymore.
Hey, I still,
More
I
of the
still like Trey
reason
Songz.
why,
Yeah, you do.
I still love Trey
more of the reason why, Jacquees gonna say what he's
We ain't
saying.
saying
I know, I get it. I know. I told, but
We
you
ain't
gotta think.
saying I know more.
This
Like, we ain't
2008.
never-
This
we ain't never said I in the
2018. We ain't
club.
said I since 2014.
That record come on, and you ain't like, oh, girl, it's your birthday.
birthday.
First of all, Fat
You
versus
rolling.
First of all, Fat versus
Not in the
Harlem.
last DJ set, but in the first DJ set, you rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Bottoms up.
Bruh. Listen, but that was
Shout out Trey Songz
2014 though.
I know. Just
The
relax.
neighbors knew my name in 2014.
With the do-rag on, with
And
the
listen, and we ain't knocking that.
doing?
Nobody's knocking that man's work. That was amazing. Nobody's knocking that man's work. I'm just saying,
Shout out to Trey Songz, man.
if we talk about like as far as hot,
stirred up-
Jacquees the hottest,
But
the
I'm saying
hottest
he
dude
stirred
right
up a
now.
conversation.
He the hottest dude right now.
He stirred up so much of a conversation. He stirred up so much of a conversation that I was listening to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, right? And they had to stop the show
For what?
and get the PDs on the phone
Wow.
Huh?
Just to get the stats, the numbers.
to get the stats.
You serious?
Yeah, because it's a topic. He ain't just saying it, and they said right now he the most played R&B artist right
But
now.
it makes
Male
sense though.
R&B is-
Male
That
R&B.
makes sense to
That
me.
absolutely makes
Now
sense.
that I'm looking at the landscape,
Bruh.
and yeah,
We just
I'm rolling.
named 4 of the
And then
hottest
people
5.
right, and then people that are responding, get out of here.
nah.
Jay Holiday.
They're not listening to him though.
Pleasure P.
He did say, "Oh shoot."
Hold
Yo,
on.
all right, let's
Jay
stop.
Holiday.
We-
Pleasure
what's
P.
next on the
Hold
doc?
on, wait. Bobby Valentino.
All these
All
washed.
of you,
Yo,
Trey Songz.
These are washed up dudes, man.
Everybody is
All these guys are washed
hold
up.
on, boy.
They throw
You
rocks
said,
at the throne. Even
Boy.
R. Kelly responded
Boy.
and put up a picture of him on the throne.
Boy, wait a minute. Go back.
He got people
You know,
in
R.
their
Kelly.
feelings.
You know, R. Kelly probably didn't do. R. Kelly, you know, he have a hard time reading anyway.
He
so
got
R.
people
Kelly,
on their
so
in their feelings.
you know, Kel's got a hard time reading anyway. So what he probably did was he's like, hold on, what they say? Tell me what they say. Tell me what. Read
Jacquees
it. Read
got
it for me.
people in their
Read it for me.
Say it again. Say it one more time. The king, like the crown, like the throne. I got a picture of
Better
that.
than me.
I got a picture of
His
that.
parents was listening to 12
Yeah.
when they had me.
What you talking about?
Y'all need one of those?
I got 4 of them. You remember 94 we was in Atlanta? Yo, upload that. Put it on
Oh
Twitter.
my goodness! No, I'm with you. I'm with
Tweet
you.
it.
I'm with you. I
tweeted
agree
that.
with him. I just needed clarity. You know what I'm saying?
Jacquees,
On the generation thing. That's all. That's all I need.
Yeah, Jacquees.
'Cause he said it.
He rocking though. I can't. Money in the money. He rocking.
No, he
rock. I can't hate on him, man.
He definitely is.
He rocking.
And he's singing. Like, he really singing. Like, you know what I'm saying? The young boy singing, man. And he gonna get better. He gonna get better. He gonna get better. It's inevitable.
It's new
And he ain't got that much
energy
competition either.
2019. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. He's also benefiting from lack of competition. We know for a fact that there are way more female R&B artists.
If Chris could just like go to Passages just for one round, just go to Passages for one round and come out and give us like the real album that we wanted, not the coked up album with 87 songs on it.
Yeah.
Like if he give us the real like,
You know what that
boom,
was? You know what that was though, right? That was just I got all this music sitting here.
Oh no, yeah,
and let's get it out here.
It was just, like, it's too much for me to sift through.
It way too much.
Much.
God,
I
dog.
still ain't heard the whole thing. It was a goal for me to listen to that whole
I
album.
feel like him and Drake had sat
Yo.
down and had a conversation like, let's just get rid of all this music.
Yeah.
Both of them
Scorpion,
dudes.
because Scorpion would have been way better.
I
if it
couldn't
was
even
12.
listen. I stopped
listened to the whole thing.
It was too hard for me to listen to the whole
listened to
thing.
the whole
I'm like, I don't want that much music from you, bruh.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it's a fact, scientific fact that our attention spans are way shorter
you
than
gotta
they
break
used
it
to
up
be.
into segments.
You can't be
So
listening
you
to
gotta
music
go like
that long.
8. You gotta go 8 and then
If
go
I'm
through
riding to
something.
Charlotte, North Carolina, bro, that's an 8-hour ride, and I'm speeding at 7 plus, and I still ain't done with your record.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right.
Now I'm exaggerating, but you understand what
But
I'm
no,
saying.
that's a good
God,
point.
dog.
That's a good point.
Man, turn this nigga off. I'm so tired
No,
of him.
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it.
Man.
Well, anyway. Well, you know, shout out to Jacquees. I guess by the
be funny.
numbers.
Yeah.
Shoot,
I actually
Jacquees,
listened to
you
all of
know,
Drake's albums.
he got the
You
pull.
listen to the whole
See
thing?
a
listened to the whole
Spotify.
thing.
When you got done listening to it, was you
With the,
depressed?
yeah, what's your Spotify rap 2018?
Millie said what? So, you
Go
know,
for it.
I actually listened to Drake's whole album, like the whole Scorpion album. It's really good.
I did. I like
I
it.
actually listened to it.
And you weren't depressed?
No, not at all. It's like same with Black's album. I listen
Black's
to every
album.
Okay,
single
first of all, that's not the same.
thing.
Oh my goodness, stop.
No.
Black's album was crazy.
Black's
What
album is
are we
crazy.
considering him?
He's not a king yet, though. He doesn't get as much burn.
I'm just asking, what do we
So,
consider him?
What you mean? In terms of what?
Okay, so I
say he is.
because they're in the same era,
yeah.
I say he's R&B.
and
maybe
I would argue
contemporary.
this: that
Okay.
his 2 albums were how many albums this little boy got?
2
One?
in a tape.
No,
I think got 2
3.
in.
Who you talking
Well, one
about?
was a tape.
Black.
He ain't got 3 albums. Well, okay, 3
No,
projects.
I would say 3 projects.
3 projects. I'm sorry.
3 projects.
I'm old. Like so.
Maybe 3 singles he dropped, and they were mixed in with the album.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it was
yeah.
nonchalant, and then
No,
he had that
no,
bar.
not black, not black, not black, not black.
Not Black then.
No, yeah.
Jacquees.
Oh, you mean Jacquees?
Are you talking? I'm talking about.
Oh, I
Black.
thought you
I'm
were
talking about Black. I asked you,
You said
how
how
many
many
albums does
projects?
Jacquees have? Because
Jacquees
Black has
No.
2.
Oh,
Jacquees,
okay. I don't know. I think it's 2.
Does he have albums?
Yeah.
No, he got 2. I
thought
think he got
had
2
an album.
projects.
Yeah, he
out.
got an album.
I think he has 2 projects out.
I know him for his singles and
You
his
don't have
covers.
to guess.
You know what?
So-
See, this is what's happening here.
We don't have to guess.
This is what's happening. Are we judging this based off of one part? Are these comments coming off the heels of one thing?
Explain what you're saying.
And what I'm saying is, are these coming off of how well is the single that you're dropping doing? So if you drop 3 singles and they go hot, are we judging that? Because I had this weird feeling that if you start doing features for feature, I think Jacquees gonna lose this one.
No, I know you
Yeah.
will.
I think you're gonna see Black way more than you see Jacquees.
No,
in
I
features.
think.
So how are we judging this here?
I don't know what I don't have a
This is
baseline.
why this is
Jacquees
interesting.
has 4 albums out. 2013,
What?
2016.
He does.
And 2 in 2018. Yes. Lost at Sea, 4275. Lost at Sea 2, 4275. Lost at Sea, and Round of Applause. First album was
Okay, this is a little disappointing.
2013.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little disappointed about him.
Yep.
He got 4 albums?
4 projects.
He got 4 albums. and-
4
One
like
is-
studio
one is an
albums?
EP. One is an EP. Lost at Sea was the EP. The second one looks like a full length. 14 songs. 19 songs. Lost at Sea was 7 songs. Then Round of Applause was a full conventional album.
Yeah, so going back to what Blue said, now I'm disappointed too. You have 4 albums, but you're getting you're getting more coverage doing singles, like covers, and it's not for
Well,
your
okay, now,
albums.
I'm not knocking the dude's talent.
No,
Not
one
knocking
could
talent,
one
but-
could argue that maybe he's just an album artist, or he's just a single artist. He doesn't do well with albums.
I feel like he probably is a
One
single
could
artist.
argue
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people like that in history.
One could argue
I had
that.
to
Fair enough.
say this to someone, right? Because people give feel like they give him a little slack with this, right?
Okay.
A little flack, right? Name me a singer who hasn't done covers.
I don't know any.
I would never knock a singer for doing covers.
I don't know any.
I don't know.
You can do that.
I don't
that's
know
the rule.
any
That's the rule.
Yeah, I don't know any.
singers that don't do covers.
I don't know any. Well, I don't think
Doing cover
people
shows
give him flack for doing covers.
Doing cover shows your versatility.
Right. She just
Yeah.
said it.
Oh, what? No, what you just say?
No,
No, that's not what she
I'm
said.
saying that that's how I knew him though.
Oh, for covers.
For
She's saying
covers
that the
and
covers were
singles.
more
I'm not
recognizable
saying
than
that's
his-
not something you don't
his
do,
actual
but I'm
songs.
saying like the fact that he put out 4 albums, I didn't even know about it because all I knew was his covers and his singles. That's where I was just kind of like
I get what
going
you're
with
saying.
you. Like,
I get
okay,
what you're
so
saying.
he's more of like a single
If he's a single
artist
guy,
than an album artist. Because if you have 4 albums,
For me,
and
I feel like
I know
R&B
your name, but I never listened to your
R&B
album.
is a sport to where you have to
So-
be able to put together a body of work. And I'm old, but
I feel the same way though.
I think I think
Feel the same way.
Singles rock. We can roll,
Yeah.
but I think an R&B artist should
Maybe.
be able to put together a body of work.
I think
Listen,
you can.
her-
but I,
her
but I don't
know-how.
feel like people be like,
SZA know how.
I don't know if people always like. I don't know. I don't think it matters.
So why?
I don't think it
Are
matters.
women judged with a
Nobody-
different
I've never
standard than
heard-
men?
I don't know. I've never heard nobody say, "Man." I may have heard 1 or 2 people, but I rarely hear people say that was a crazy Tank album, right? But Tank can give you a banger,
But Tank has always been like that though.
right? My point.
But you said that was a crazy R. Kelly album.
But see, yeah, you always.
Yeah.
But do we
You say
consider
that.
like if we're talking about
Or Usher, you say that's a crazy Usher album.
True.
Yeah.
So that shows a different caliber of
Are we
artist. I
talking
think.
about like if we're excluding or
Sometimes.
relegating this conversation to just the top folks? I think that's a criteria. Like we don't put Tank there because of that though,
Facts.
because he hasn't given
We
me a
don't
body of
we
work
don't
for that.
discredit him.
But Tank
Hell no, Tank is crazy.
But Tank is up there as an R&B guy. 'Cause
Up
he's a
there,
writer.
yeah. He's up there.
as an R&B guy.
Sure.
But I think there's a difference between a single that was a part of an album. Now I can go back to something to find out more of your work than a single that is just one song. It's not a part of a project you did or anything. I think
I
that's
think
the
that's rare,
difference.
too.
You find a lot of songs that get like SZA's song that blew up. It's a part of her album, so I can go back.
album
Now
was
I can
crazy.
sit here and listen to the
Her
rest
album
and
was
figure
crazy.
out. Oh my gosh, there's more stuff that
She's
she
a
put
beast.
out. Where it's one thing if you drop one song, it's not a part of anything. You just drop this one song. That's it.
But I think it's a
Like,
difference in the climate in which we're in with music. I don't have to. I can go into the studio and record and drop it.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
True.
saying? So I just think that is when we talk about the eras that you in.
But still in this era though, bro, don't you still got to put together a body of work? That's just like LeBron James gets slack for being a great regular season, get to the playoffs and losing the championship. So if that man catches slack for that, why this man can come out with just a single and that's it?
Well,
Because women, when you judging women's R&B albums, bruh, y'all not just judging a single.
But no. This is where I say, like, I brought that up and said I was old because I know that's a sentiment that we all share. But
Do we though?
But the market doesn't share it
I don't
anymore.
think that's the climate of music anymore.
Yeah, the market doesn't share it anymore. I
People-
do.
That's a lie. And I'm gonna tell you why it's a lie.
Go for
Labels
it.
give single deals.
Go for it.
I agree with
True.
that. No, I'm not knocking it. I agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why the market is bipolar, right? The reason why the market is bipolar with their emotions and schizophrenic and what their decisions are is because of this. They want a body of work from you because they have more singles to push out on you because the singles are the main priority. On SZA's album, if you look at it, she got like 5 singles.
True.
That all went crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Her scaled back on purpose, right? She made sure, like, when she did her deal and all that stuff, she was like, no, for this amount of time, I'm not releasing who I am. You're going to release the music that I want you to, or you cannot have me, right?
Salute to RCA.
She went to RCA. Did the right thing. She dropped her project, right? People were singing her songs, didn't know who she was, whatever. You look on her CD, they're like, dang, I heard all of this stuff already on the radio.
Yeah.
Right.
Six out of like 9 songs was all singles, put together a project. So what I'm saying is do we really not value like whole projects? Even though I think that they want projects broken down into marketable singles.
Right. So if you got an album with 10 songs and 5 of them is singles, right, and 5 of them went to radio, that ain't an album. That's now we got to put a project. We got to put.
It's a filler project.
Yeah, we got to put this together because we need.
That's what they did with her though.
Yeah, because that's not an
not
album.
her.
Not her.
Not her. Well, but that's not what the example I was. Go for it.
I don't feel like you're not really seeing like real albums.
What do you mean?
From an artist like that. Like if you date back music, right? If you go back to somebody's album, right? Like a Jay-Z or like if you go back to some juggernauts and you look at their albums, right? Remember, certain albums had like a flow, an intro. They might have
the sequencing was key.
It was a
sequence, the skits, all those different things was very essential into putting together an album.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is much different than we took the 5 songs that we done pushed out on the radio and put them, and it's 5 of them, it's 10 songs. We skipped every other song and then put it together and put it out. To me, that is way different.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if nowadays does the project necessarily matter because they don't even flow like that.
I agree with you.
I
I agree with you, but it's still another side though.
No,
and then say what you gonna say. Go ahead. There's still another side though.
It's trying to make a comeback. You know.
I agree with that.
Because with Black's album, every song flowed into the next.
And they had intros,
Like,
the
intros
systematic,
into it.
LMAs too.
You know,
LMAs, hers,
Solange's
Scissors too. They all did
album,
that.
it flowed all
Solange.
together. I feel like they're trying to bring it back.
They're still doing
it's
it.
still getting masked by what entertainment is turning into now, but it is trying to slowly where it does matter.
You know what I'm
there's
noticing?
this flow.
No, these good
It
artists
keeps
keep
me intact.
that.
Like, oh my
the
gosh,
good
what's
artists
gonna
keep that
happen next?
together.
This is what I'm noticing.
Well,
This is what I'm noticing. We are now on the bubble of 2 different music industries.
okay.
Okay.
This conversation just made me realize that because there's an upfront music industry that we all know and come from and understand, and then there's the one that SoundCloud kids are making millions at festivals in.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
True.
And that's the one we don't
It's
understand.
it's 2 industries.
It's 2 industries in
That's
one,
crazy.
and one needs a label and one needs the market. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, Boyd, you're right. The album isn't what it used to be, but I do think, Millie, you're right. The album is still what it used to be. It depends on what market you're in.
Yeah.
Because these
It
people are
depends
all
on
out at
the
the
artist.
same time, and they
I've
all on the
met-
radio at the same
I've
time.
met people this year
That's crazy.
who have had 500,000, 750,000, a million Spotify, SoundCloud plays, doing festivals all over the country during the summer, and I never knew who they were. But their music is dope, and they are paid. And then I meet people. Well, I don't ever meet people who are in the industry because the industry moves the way the industry moves. I meet the people of the people who are in the industry. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole different ballgame because they're still relying on the construct, and the construct is single driven. But SoundCloud kids, they need a body. They need a body of work because I have to go to a festival with a set,
Yeah.
and you have to know it.
Yeah, so that you got
So it's
Now-
got to make sense.
Now the criteria of that body of work
It's different.
is different.
It's different. But the concept of body of work, that
Takashi, whatchamacallit was an anomaly to them. X. He was an anomaly. He wasn't like them. Even though he was a SoundCloud festival
Man,
kid,
he was
he was
not
not
like
like them at all. He was different. But
oh yeah.
my
I can't
bad.
see him at all.
Yeah, my bad. Y'all, as long as y'all can still hear me, I had to stand up, man.
But
Stand up.
yeah. So I think that's where the discrepancy is coming in. Is Jacquees the king of R&B, commercial R&B? I'm rolling
Me too.
because I can't not roll.
I agree with that.
I mean the numbers support it. Who is getting the better amount of tick this year? It's Ty Dolla $ign, no question. He's had the best year in R&B over anyone. Period.
You talk about as far as
What you can have in a career in a year.
I mean, he's on everybody's.
He's on
he's
everybody's record.
project. He's
His
on-
body of work went nuts.
But see, that's
He was
what I'm
all over
saying,
the
though. You
world.
got Ty Dolla $ign that's on everybody's stuff. You got Black that's on everybody's stuff now. These dudes are on everybody's music. When you
gotta
start
call
reaching
them.
out to get people on everybody's music, like, that's different.
you got
But
to
if you
bounce.
talking about numbers and singles and radio, and like, I got to give it to the young boy.
Oh no doubt.
And you know what? I think it's all and this is a part of the conversation that we were having last week, and
Okay.
we started off with, right? I truly feel like people have their own certain gifts, and I do not think that you can just put it in a box of one type of thing, right? So, like, certain people are just like their personality does a lot of the things that, like, does the intangible work. You know what I'm saying? And we get mad at that, or we look at it like, oh, but you ain't a real this, and you ain't a real that, and that ain't real this, and that ain't real that. When it's more so like it's hate. And I think that's more so what it is. It's hate versus just accepting what certain people are and who they are and what they bring to the table. Like, we talked about music last week, right? I don't think that music is just simply lyrics. Like, I don't think,
It's not.
you know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't
heck
just,
no.
but I'm
Heck
saying,
no.
though, people would say, oh, you ain't a
Yeah,
good rapper, or
Yeah,
you're not this,
yeah.
or you ain't a good singer. You know what I'm saying? Because of one instance, or
When you say
one
good,
little thing.
when you say good singer, what you mean? If you can't sing, you ain't no good singer.
No, but no, that's not true. That's not true. Because it's not, that's what I'm saying. It's not true. Everybody ain't a Whitney Houston.
True.
But that's what people are qualified as. If you don't sing like Whitney Houston, you can't sing.
Not what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? But
You gotta be able to sing though, right?
No, you don't. You might necessarily have to be able to hold a note.
That's like you saying that you're an NBA player.
Yeah,
You got to be able to
that's
play
true.
basketball. You
No,
got to be
I see
LeBron.
what,
No, but
I see what
I-
you're
I
saying,
see what
but
you're-
I see what he's
No,
saying.
You saying you
see
got to be
what
able to hold a
you mean,
note, right?
Because he's not wrong, even though
No.
he shouldn't be right.
But I'm saying, holding a note is different from being able to blow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I
But you don't
absolutely
have
agree.
to be able to sing, quote unquote, by that
Yeah.
by that definition, to be a good singer.
We
or not.
just now, before, not to go crazy, but we just now are starting to hear T-Pain's real voice.
True.
Yes.
True.
T-Pain has made an empire and millions of dollars
Yes.
off of a machine.
Absolutely.
That is
Yes.
true.
So
And these people sound like him right now.
but I'm saying he's a prime example
Yeah.
that you don't gotta be able to
You
sing
don't.
to be considered a singer and a successful singer.
And T-Pain can really sing.
Yeah.
And he can really sing.
That is true.
You don't have to.
That's true, because that applies to this whole other market across the sea, K-pop. So it's literally a machine factory out there, how they generate these stars. A lot of them, they're not born talented. They don't sing, but they literally train these stars, these groups like
Yeah.
BTS and everything, to at least keep a beat, keep a note. They generate everything, and they blown up.
You know where that started at?
So it's like that's a prime example of like what you're saying. Like you don't have to have this one thing to be that.
Right,
So
you just-
Salute to
you don't-
Ron Perlman in Florida. He
Right.
started that.
Right, you don't have to have this
Who?
Ron Perlman. He's responsible for NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
you
He
don't
started
Yeah.
right, you don't
The
have to
compound.
have this undeniable
Voice.
gift.
No, in that area, in that one area.
You know
Correct.
what I'm saying?
Correct.
In that one area, to me, it's no different from the Nellies of the world
Yeah.
who didn't get respected. But how can't you respect him? Because he's one of the greatest selling hip hop artists of all time. So
I think it's a
if he
varying
can't-
conversation.
right? So it's like
Yeah.
if Nelly can't rap, right? What is it that he do?
Make good songs. Make you
good
feel good.
songs.
Great records.
Yep.
Nelly knows how to make great records. There's no question about that.
yeah.
You're an artist.
Yeah, he's an artist. See, but this is
But when they did the greatest the hip hop artist of the decade and all time, right?
I remember that list.
You got to put him in it.
He wasn't on none of
He
them.
wasn't on none of them.
Jermaine Dupri was an advocate and vouched for him. He said, "How isn't he not?"
I don't understand that either.
Because people are looking at one simple thing. He can't rap.
That's the beautiful thing though about music and artistry, just in general.
Brings up a good point.
If you see art one kind of way, you'll miss art.
True indeed.
You know what I'm saying? You got to see art as a full body thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we just had a conversation about Jacquees being who he is, like he said he was, and in the same instance, someone else also being who he said he is. Like, that's art though. That's art for you. Like,
and to piggyback on that, I feel like Jacquees is somebody that he's been able to capitalize off of his era. And what his era, but I'm saying what his era is and what he comes from is this.
No doubt. Can't take that away from him.
you
And he's and
you got to dominate your era, bro, to even be considered a great.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why people question it, and that's why people got something to say, because, well, you ain't did this, that, and the third.
Right.
But
the game has changed since you was running
the
it.
game has changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't compare him to Chris Brown because they don't do the same stuff. But if Chris Brown is your benchmark,
He'll never make it.
he'll never make it.
That's true.
That's
That's true.
that's true. But you know, even with that, you know, it's double standards in that too.
Oh,
So
yeah, for
everything is what.
But
it is.
that's what, you know what? That's what makes music the
that's what makes
conversations
art.
the great.
That's what makes
conversation.
art great,
is
bro.
just that.
art in general.
Yeah.
Like just art. When it comes
So
to movies,
you know, shout out to
sports, whatever,
Jacquees
it's
being the
art.
king of R&B.
The King's back.
That's a wild statement.
That's the
but it's
name.
Not,
The
not
King's
true.
back. There it is, right there. Episode
All right,
53.
we rolling.
54. The King's back.
King's
54.
back.
54. The King's back. Yeah. So
FC,
dope episode.
I did not know Bobby Brown
So good to talk with y'all
sold
guys.
20 million records.
Shout out to Bobby Brown for selling all those records. Yo.
You had to buy them.
So
You had to go to the store. Boy.
shout out to Millie with the fro.
Hi.
Millie on the go.
Boy, you had to go to the
Millie
store.
in the know.
Millie in the know.
You dig? The marketing coach, Mr. Brown University himself over here.
You know who it is. My favorite hoodie. I ain't even go to school.
Shout out to the shout out to the hoodie. Hey, next week, man, we going live, right? We going live. We gonna talk with these people because they actually got some Facebook messages about it because we started talking about it and we didn't talk about it for whatever reason. We start talking about degrees and all of that stuff. People, they get opinionated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So next week, let's dig in a little bit on the degree, diploma. Not the
I know
diploma,
y'all
the
went to
degree.
school.
We did.
I
don't
need
regret
some,
it.
I need some different
I regret the
opinions of
debt.
people that went
God,
to school
dog.
because we hustle.
We need a social media correspondent.
Yeah, so we
somebody
gonna
that
go
can
in.
read the comment.
Yeah, because we hustle.
You know what? So next week, that's what I'm shooting for. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we good. Let's close this thing.
I'm
out.
good,
Talk, Millie.
man.
Tell them who you are.
It's me,
It's me,
Millie with the pro, Millie the model, Millie the college student
college student.
who won't be here unfortunately next week. I have to work,
It's cool.
so I won't be able to
We could have
engage
shot
in the
pictures this
whole
week instead of next
diploma
week. and had our promo
debate.
running.
So,
So now we
yeah.
gotta wait two. So I gotta wait. We gotta
Millie
wait
the
till after the
actor.
holiday.
I'm going in that field too. So
You should. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. One of them things is gonna pop for you. Don't get funny out there. When you blow up, don't be funny
I'm
out there.
never gonna be funny. Never.
It doesn't have to be on a Wednesday, boy. And it's me. I just realized Millie is just taking my whole. It's all good. I share with the community. It's me, MC on the beat, aka Fourth Quarter Freddie, aka Freddie Franchise, aka the best you ever heard. You're just afraid to admit it, aka Mr. I Have a Dream, so get your hands on my pocket, aka Speedy Traxton, aka Bomb Stockton, aka Kareem Abdul Bazaar, aka Wavy Crocker, aka F the Netflix guy, aka Hot Take Jake, aka Young Hulu, aka Mr. Always Stay Focused, aka Mr. Always Dr. Loader, aka Mr. All Bags Matter.
Great episode.
Meek Mill got the #1 album in the country.
We out.
Salute to him.
No
I'm out.
surprise. Holla.
Bye.